Hello dear students, this is Dr. Sridevi R. Kulkarni, and today in this video I am going to discuss the model question paper on NEET, and this is third model question paper, and let us go for the discussion. So here is the first question. Most plants are green in color because the atmosphere filters out all the colors of the visible light spectrum except green. Green light is the most effective wavelength region of the visible spectrum in sunlight for photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is least effective in absorbing green light. Green light allows maximum photosynthesis. So, why the plants appear green in color? See, the leaf is photosynthetic organ, and in the leaf, the mesophyll cells are the cells which are involved in the photosynthesis. The mesophyll cells contain the cell organelle which is required for photosynthesis, and it is chloroplast. The chloroplast is a double membrane bonded cell organelle. It contains the two important parts. One is grana, another is stroma. The grana is made up of a bundle of thylakoid, and stroma is the fluid which is present in chloroplast. The grana, as it is represented by the stack of thylakoid, the surface of the thylakoid contains photosynthetic pigments. They absorb the light radiations and they are involved in the photosynthesis. When the mesophyll cells are observed under the electron microscope, this is the appearance, and here you can see the chloroplast. What is the reason why the green plants appear, or why the plants appear green in color? Because the pigment chlorophyll which does not absorb the green light and it is reflected back. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option C. The remaining colors are absorbed except the green light. That is why when the plants exposed to green light, they show least photosynthesis, because the green light radiations are reflected. There will be no high rate of photosynthesis. And coming to the next question. Which of the following organism possesses characteristic of both plant and an animal? The given options are bacteria, euglena, mycoplasma and paramecium. The answer for this question is euglena. This is the connecting link between plants and animals, and this euglena shows mixotropic nutrition. Here it is the image where you can see the presence of chlorophyll. The right answer is euglena. The type of the nutrition shown by the euglena is mixotropic. If light is available, it can prepare its own food. Otherwise, it feeds on other organisms. So, it is possessing both the characters of plants as well as animals. Then moving to the next question. Function of companion cells is providing energy to sieve elements for active transport, providing water to the phloem, then loading of sucrose into sieve elements by passive transport, loading of sucrose into sieve elements. So here is the image of phloem. Here you can see the companion cell. This is the companion cell. The sieve tube and companion cells are called sister cells of the plant kingdom, and here the sieve tubes at the end, they are having sieve plate. The perforations of the sieve plate are helping in the transport of sucrose from one sieve tube element to another sieve tube element. The sieve tubes are enucleated plant cells, alone example for the enucleated plant cell, whereas companion cell contains the nucleus, and the nucleus of companion cell controls the functioning of sieve tube element. So what is the function of companion cell? It helps in the loading of sucrose into the sieve element. Into the sieve tube, the sucrose is loaded with the help of companion cell. The function of companion cell is to load sugar and amino acids into the sieve elements. These cells use transmembrane protein to take up by active transport. So the right answer for the question is option D. Then moving to the next question. In the cell cycle, DNA replication takes place in G1 phase, G2 phase, mitotic metaphase, S phase. So here is the schematic representation of cell cycle, and here it is mentioned very clearly S for synthesis. Which molecule is synthesized during the S phase? It is the DNA. The phase of DNA replication is S phase of cell cycle. G1 gap 1 phase before the synthesis of DNA, G2 gap 2 phase after the synthesis of DNA. G1, S and G2, they represent the interphase. During the interphase, the nucleus remains highly active. The largest nucleus can be observed during the interphase. After that, the M phase occurs, characterized by prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase, and it is followed by cytokinesis, that is division of the cytoplasm, where one cell gets divided into two daughter cells. So synthesis of DNA or the DNA replication occurs during S phase of cell cycle. So the right answer is option D. Then moving to the next question. Select the events that do not occur in interphase stage of cell cycle. RNA and protein synthesis, cytoplasmic growth, polymerization of spindle fibers, disappearance of Golgi bodies and endoplasmic reticulum, DNA molecules in highly supercoiled stage. See, before this one only you have studied about the cell cycle. During cell cycle, the cell increases its size. The S phase is characterized by DNA replication. G2 is the second growth phase, where the formation of RNAs and protein occurs. In the meiotic metaphase, the chromosomes are arranged at the equatorial plane. So what is the question here? Select the events that do not occur in interphase stage of the cell cycle. RNA and protein synthesis is occurring, cytoplasmic growth is occurring, polymerization of spindle fibers protein. When exactly the polymerization of spindle fiber occurs? During the mitotic phase. The centrioles divide, they move to the opposite pole, they occupy the opposite poles, and then they start the production of spindle fibers. Disappearing of Golgi bodies and endoplasmic reticulum. Again, this is also characteristic of M phase, that is mitotic phase. So polymerization of spindle fiber and disappearance of Golgi bodies, both of them are not occurring during the interphase. Therefore, the correct answer is option D. The third and fourth options are not taking place during the interphase, and these two are taking place during the M phase. Therefore, the answer is option D. Then moving to the next question. Organisms which are indicator of the organisms which are indicator of SO2 pollution of air are mosses, lichens, mushrooms, puffballs, and the answer is lichens. The lichens are the indicators of air pollution. So here is the image of lichen and the answer is option B. The lichens are represented by symbiotic association between algae and fungi. They do not grow in the environment where the pollution level is high with sulfur dioxide. It is indicator of air pollution. So the right answer is option B. Then moving to the next question. Choose the correct option A, B, C and D of a mature embryo sac. So here the diagram of mature embryo sac is given, which is much familiar to you. And what are the parts here represented? The options are: option A represents the antipodal cells. You can compare here. A represents antipodal cell and T represents polar nuclei. B is the filiform apparatus. C is the central cell and egg is already marked here and C for synergids. So which one is the right answer? A is antipodal cells, B is filiform apparatus, C is synergids and D is polar nuclei. So option B is the right answer. Then moving to the next question. In which one pair both plants can be vegetative propagated by leaf species? Bryophyllum and Caloncase, Chrysanthemum and Agave and Caloncase, Asparagus and Bryophyllum. So one name is familiar to you because this you have studied in the vegetative propagation, and this is the image of Bryophyllum, where the new plantlets originate from the margin of leaf, and this represents Caloncase, and the option is option A. Bryophyllum and Caloncase are the two plants where the new plants can be vegetatively propagated by the leaf species. Then moving to the next question. A typical angiospermous ovule is attached to the placenta by means of a stalk called X. Body of the ovule fuses with the X in the region called Y. Identify X and Y. So this is the typical anatropous ovule of angiosperm. What is the answer? So the stalk of the ovule is called funicle, and this is attached to the region called hilum. A typical angiospermous ovule is attached to the placenta by means of its stalk. So typical angiospermous ovule, the ovule is attached to the placenta with the help of its stalk called funicle. So here X becomes funicle, and the funicle fuses, X region fuses with the Y, The funicle is attached to the hilum. Junction where the funicle is attached. So the Y becomes hilum. The right answer for this one is option A. Funicle. X represents funicle and Y represents hilum. So here you can get the information with respect to the structure of ovule. And moving to the next question. Identify the correctly matched pair. Basel Convention, Biodiversity Conservation, Basel Convention, Biodiversity Conservation, Kyoto Protocol, Climatic Change, Montreal Protocol, Global Warming, Ramsar Convention, Groundwater Pollution. So which one is the correctly matched pair? This is Kyoto Protocol related to climatic changes. It is held in Japan in the year 1997 international conference. The problem is with this highlighter. Now I got it. 1997, it is international conference, and the different countries for reducing overall greenhouse gas emission at the level of 9% below 1990 level by 2008 to 2012, just to prevent what are the changes already they are happened in the climate. The right option is option B. Then coming to next one. Secondary sewage treatment is mainly a physical process, mechanical process, chemical process, biological process. The sewage is municipal wastewater containing large amount of human excreta along with the urine. So when other domestic waste, it is mixed with large amount of human excreta, that municipal waste is called the sewage. If the sewage is directly released into the water body, it will cause water pollution, biomagnification, algal bloom, and so many other harmful effects on the health of harmful effects on the health of man, as well as they will cause the death of aquatic animals. So that the treatment of the sewage is very essential, and this sewage treatment is done at two levels. The physical process, in which the filtration and sedimentation is carried out to remove the superficially floating material and partially dissolved materials which are present in the sewage. Through the sedimentation and through the filtration, they are separated. The secondary sewage treatment is mainly related to biological process. Hope you remember the definition of flocs. The mass of bacteria associated with fungal hyphae, which is carried out in aerobic tank as well as anaerobic tank, so that the microorganisms digest the dissolved organic content which is present in the sewage. So the right answer for this question is option D. Then moving to the next question. Species interaction with negative influence on both is referred to as. So species, what are the different types of population interactions that you have studied? The predation, parasitism, commensalism, amensalism, mutualism, competition. So the type of the interaction beneficial for both the species is mutualism, where both of the interacting species are benefited with each other. But here the question is with respect to negative influence on both. If the two species are interacting with each other, among them, see, in case of commensalism, what happens? One is benefited, another is neither benefited nor harmed. In case of amensalism, one is harmed, another is neither benefited nor harmed. For example, the bacteria growing near the mold penicillium, the antibiotic or the chemical secreted by the penicillium, it kills the bacteria and bacteria is harmed, but it will be not benefited, neither benefited nor harmed for the penicillium. Like that, commensalism, the egret bird and grazing cattle, the egret bird is getting benefit, but the cattle, neither it is benefited nor it is harmed. In case of mutualism, both the interacting species are benefited. If the fungus is growing in association with roots of the higher plant, the fungus absorbs phosphorus, it protects the root from drought and other infections, root-borne pathogens, and in turn the fungus is getting food shelter from the plant. And only one interaction where both of them interacting species may get the negative effect, it is competition. Because in competition, two equally competent species are interacting, so that one is competitively superior and another is competitively inferior, and during this kind of interaction, competitively inferior one may be eliminated. So competition always active demand by two or more individuals of the same species or the members of the more species at the same trophic level for a common resource. It may be intraspecific competition or it may be interspecific competition, but the severity of the competition depends on similarity in the requirement of food and shelter. So obviously competitively superior one will survive and competitively inferior one will be eliminated, and this needs lots of struggle, and both of them are negatively influenced. Therefore the answer is competition. Then moving to next one. Cotyledons and testa are respectively edible parts in cotyledon and testa are respectively edible parts in cotyledon, the thick parts of a seed where the reserve food is stored. Testa is outer seed coat produced from the integument once the ovule is transformed into seed. And the answer is groundnut and pomegranate. Dalimbe. Groundnut and pomegranate. In groundnut, the cotyledons are edible part, and in pomegranate, the testa is edible part. Then moving to the next one. When pollen grains are not transferred from anther to the stigma in a flower due to the barrier, it is called. Usually the cross pollination in flowering plants is executed due to many reasons. Among them, one is dichogamy, it is also correct, and another region is hercogamy. Both of them are preventing the self-pollination. The cleistogamy is preventing cross-pollination, it supports the self-pollination. Heterogamy, the diffusion between two different gametes. But here the question is given, why the self-pollination is prevented? It is because of barrier. When the pollen grains are not transferred from anther to the stigma of a flower, that means when the self-pollination is prevented due to the presence of barriers, this is called hercogamy. The physical barriers prevent the self-pollination. For example, pollinia. In case of Calotropis procera, ಎಕ್ಕೆ ಗಿಡದೊಳಗೆ ಪೋಲನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದರ ಸುತ್ತಾರದ ಎರಡು ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೋಸ್ ವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಅವೇ ದ pollinia away from the vicinity of stigma of the same flower. So in that case, the Pollen grains are not allowed to transfer to the stigma of a pollen grain if the physical barriers prevent the self-pollination. It is called hercogamy. When the self-pollination is prevented by the physical barriers, it is called hercogamy. And cleistogamy, you are familiar with the term. This is a condition where the flowers are growing on the root and they remain in the closed condition. As a result, the self-pollination becomes rule in the cleistogamous flowers. Example, Commelina. Dichogamy, when the two sexes mature at different time. It is protandry and protogyny. Androecium, if it is attaining the maturity first before the gynoecium, it is protandry and protogyny. The gynoecium attains the maturity before the androecium attains the maturity. So dichogamy is also supporting the cross pollination. It is preventing the self pollination. But here the question is with respect to barrier. Therefore the answer is hercogamy. Then moving to the next question. Water potential is equal to, what is the water potential? The difference in the free energy of water molecules in free water and water molecules in a solution. It is called water potential. If osmosis is defined in terms of water potential, it is defined as the movement of water molecules from the region of higher water potential area to lower water potential area. That means from higher concentration to lower concentration. If solute concentration is less in any solution, the free energy of the water molecules will be more. If the solute concentration in any solution is more, then the free energy of water molecule will be less. In that case, the water molecules will move from the region of higher water potential to lower water potential. Once again, I would like to define water potential. Difference in the free energy of water molecules in pure water and the water molecule in a solution. ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ solute and solvent. Of course, water is the universal solvent. A solute molecule concentration ಎಷ್ಟದ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸಾಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ನಡುಬರಕ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಬಂಬಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಆವಾಗ ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ದು ಫ್ರೀ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅದ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಮೋರ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಯಾವ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಹೈ ಅದ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ವಾಟರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ಸನ್ನು ವಾಟರ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರಾಮ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟು ದ ಲೋವರ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟರ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಈಸ್ represented by the equation psi s plus psi p. Solute potential, pressure potential, where the solute potential is always negative and pressure potential is always positive, that represents the equation for water potential. Psi w is equal to psi s plus psi p. Then which one of the following is free living aerobic non-photosynthetic nitrogen fixer? So the question is very interesting here. It is free living, this you have to remember. It is aerobic, uses oxygen for its respiration, non-photosynthetic, heterotrophic, unable to prepare its own food, but it is capable of fixing nitrogen. So which one is the answer? Rhizobium, Azospirillum, Azotobacter, Nostoc. The first point mentioned is free living. So ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು ಉಳಿತದ? It is option B. Azotobacter is the bacteria which is free living, aerobic, non photosynthetic, and it is a nitrogen fixator. So this is the image of the Azotobacter, and the right answer is option B. Then coming to the next question. What kinds of the structures of protein are shown in the following figure? The proteins are the polymers of amino acids. When many amino acids are joined by polypeptide bond, the long chain formed is called polypeptide chain, and that polypeptide chain, it undergoes post translation modification, and it will produce some specific structure: primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. So these are the 4 types of protein structures. All the proteins, no doubt they are made up of amino acids and they are joined by peptide bond. If we consider these spherical structures or ball like structures as amino acids, and these connecting links are nothing but peptide bonds. This one represents primary structure, this is the secondary structure, this is tertiary, and this is quaternary. These are the 4 structures which are shown by proteins. The same are called 1 degree, it is primary, 2 degree secondary, 3 degree andre tertiary, 4 degree andre quaternary. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 image what A represents, what B represents, what C represents and what D represents. ಇವು 4ರೊಳಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದ್ಯಾವುದು ಏನನ್ನ represent ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತದ. So no doubt A represents primary and B represents quaternary, C represents tertiary and D represents secondary. So which one is the answer? Option C is the right answer with respect to the images given for protein structure. The next question. Which of the following minerals activate the enzymes involved in respiration? Nitrogen and phosphorus, magnesium and manganese, potassium and calcium, sulfur and iron. The answer for this question is option B, magnesium and manganese, because the enzymes which are found or which are activated, which are actively involved in respiration and photosynthesis and involved in the synthesis of DNA as well as RNA, manganese activates many enzymes which are involved in photosynthesis, respiration as well as nitrogen metabolism. Magnesium for respiration, photosynthesis and the synthesis of DNA and RNA, whereas manganese for photosynthesis and respiration along with nitrogen metabolism. So this is the right option for given question. The next one. C4 acid formed in chlorophyll of C4 plants leaf during photosynthesis is OAA, oxaloacetic acid or malic acid or aspartic acid, pyruvic acid, succinic acid, fumaric acid. What are C4 plants and what are C3 plants? Both of them are the green plants, that is angiosperms, named on the basis of the cycle used to fix the atmospheric carbon dioxide. Because the carbon dioxide which enters the leaf during photosynthesis during daytime, that will be finally converted into sucrose during the dark reactions of photosynthesis. In some plants, the carbon dioxide during the dark reactions is fixed by the C3 cycle, that is Calvin cycle. and the catalyzing enzyme is Rubisco, ribulose biphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. Rubisco catalyzes the C3 cycle and formed compound will be triose phosphate, which is 3 carbon compound, hence the cycle is called C3 cycle. And the plants in which C3 cycle is involved in the dark reaction, or it is representing the dark reaction, they are called C3 plants. Like that, in C4 plants having the Kranz anatomy, in these plants, of course, the C3 cycle is also taking place, C4 cycle is also taking place, but atmospheric carbon dioxide is fixed by a 3 carbon compound, phosphoenol pyruvate, PEP. PEP expansion is phosphoenol pyruvate. This is 3 carbon compound. It combines with the atmospheric carbon dioxide, which is 1 carbon compound, and reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme PEP carboxylase, phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase, and the resultant compound is 4 carbon compound, hence the cycle is called C4 cycle and the plants are called C4 plants. The produced C4 acid is OAA, oxaloacetic acid, the malic acid or aspartic acid. So the answer is option A. Then coming to the next one. Azotobacter and Berzernickia are the examples of symbiotic nitrogen fixers, non-symbiotic nitrogen fixers, ammonifying bacteria, disease causing bacteria. ಈ Berzernickia ಇದೇನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು you can answer this question because already Azotobacter the discussion agada. It is free living bacteria but it is capable of fixing nitrogen. Therefore both of them are belonging to the group of non-symbiotic nitrogen fixers. They are able to fix the nitrogen but in non-symbiotic association. That means they do not show any symbiotic association but they are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. That is why they are free living aerobic and the non-photosynthetic nitrogen fixing bacteria. And moving to the next one. Yes, the first carbon dioxide acceptor in the C4 plants is, ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು 2 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು, phosphoenol pyruvate, ribulose 1,5 diphosphate, oxaloacetic acid, phosphoglyceric acid. During the C4 cycle, the atmospheric carbon dioxide is fixed by phosphoenol pyruvate, PEP, the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in the C4 plants is phosphoenol pyruvate. Where it is present? PEP is present in the mesophyll cells of the leaves. It combines with the carbon dioxide and gets converted into 4 carbon compound oxaloacetic acid in the presence of enzyme PEP carboxylase. This is for C4 plants. Whereas in case of C3 plants, the first acceptor of carbon dioxide is ribulose 1,5 diphosphate and this accepts the atmospheric carbon dioxide in the presence of enzyme Rubisco and result in the production of 3 carbon compound. That is why the plants are called C3 plants. Then moving to the next question. Select the incorrect statement regarding DNA replication. Leading strand is formed in 5' to 3' direction. Okazaki fragments are formed in 5' to 3' direction. DNA polymerase catalyzes polymerization in 5' to 3' direction. DNA polymerase catalyzes the polymerization in 3' to 5' direction. What is the direction of DNA replication? The DNA replication is a semi-conservative process where the newly formed DNA molecules contain one old polynucleotide chain and one is newly synthesized. The old polynucleotide chains are acting as a template strands during the DNA replication, and the direction of replication is 5' to 3', which is catalyzed by the DNA polymerase 3 enzyme. The template strand which is undergoing the continuous replication will be running in 3' to 5' direction. Okazaki fragments are formed in 5' to 3' direction. The first three statements are correct. The wrong statement with respect to DNA replication is the fourth one. DNA polymerase catalyzes polymerization in 5' to 3' direction, not in 3' to 5' direction. Therefore, option fourth one or D is the wrong answer. Then moving to the next question. Red capital R antirrhinum is crossed with white WW1, offspring RWR pink. This is an example of dominant recessive, incomplete dominance, hybrid, supplementary genes. The dominant gene in the presence of another gene, if it is able to express its character completely, this will be the example of incomplete dominance. So the answer is option B. Then moving to the next question. Food chain in which microorganisms break down the food formed by primary producers is parasitic food chain, detritus food chain, consumer food chain, predator food chain. The question is very interesting. Food chain in which microorganisms break down the food formed by primary producers. Instead of using the complex organic molecules, here the given term is primary producer. So which are the primary producers? Green plants are the primary producers. What is the food stored in the body? It is complex organic molecule. And microorganisms are nothing but decomposers. What they are doing? They are doing the decomposition. And decomposition occurs if the detritus is present. Raw material for the decomposition is nothing but detritus. It is a mixture of both dead plants, dead animals along with their fecal matter. So this becomes detritus food chain. Option B is the answer. So detritus food chain being with dead organic matter which contains dead plant parts, dead animal parts as well as their excretory products. And finally it is broken down by the microorganisms. They are nothing but decomposers such as saprophytes, and they get their energy, they get their food. So the answer is option B. And moving to the next one. Which of the following pairs is sedimentary type of biogeochemical cycle? Oxygen and nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur, phosphorus and nitrogen, phosphorus and carbon dioxide. So which one is the answer? What are biogeochemical cycles? The elements are cycled between biotic and abiotic components of the environment. Some are recycled or circulated in the form of gas, and some are circulated in the form of sediments. That is why the cycles are of two types, gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. The nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide, they are the gases and they represent the type of the circulation of these gases represents gaseous cycle, whereas sulfur, phosphorus or calcium like this, they are representing sedimentary cycles. So the answer for this question is option B, phosphorus and sulfur. Both of them are representing the sedimentary cycles. So the answer is option B. Then moving to the next question. Independent assortment of genes does not take place when genes are located on homologous chromosomes, genes are linked and located on same chromosome, genes are located on non-homologous chromosome, all of the above. So what is the answer? See, independent assortment of genes does not take place. What is independent assortment? When the genes show the new combination which is not seen in the parental character and they show the recombination. For example, in case of P, which is studied by Mendel, the dihybrid ratio 9:3:3:1. Initially, the round shape and yellow color are paired with each other, green color and wrinkled shape. But when F1 individuals are allowed for the gamete formation, there we can see the round shape has paired with green color and wrinkled shape has paired with the yellow color, which were not found in the parental character. And this is possible when genes are not linked. They can show the independent assortment. But genes ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಸಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಸಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಜೀನ್ಸು ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಸಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಯಾವಾಗ ತೋರಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ? ಇಫ್ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಡ್. This you need to remember and located on same chromosome. Unlinked genes can go for the independent assortment and they produce new combination or recombination. When the genes are linked, the recombination percentage is very, very less because they always inherit together as they are linked genes. So the answer is option B. Then moving to the next question. Breeding of crops with high levels of minerals, vitamins and proteins is called. What is the process? Breeding of crops with a high level of minerals, vitamins and proteins to solve the problem of hidden hunger. It is nothing but biofortification. The crop breeding, particularly for the crops with high levels of vitamins, minerals and proteins, so that the common layman should get the nutritious food which is required for the normal growth and development of the body and which can solve most of the health problems. So the answer for this question is biofortification. Then coming to the next one. If we completely remove the decomposers from an ecosystem, its functioning will be adversely affected because energy flow will be blocked, herbivores will not receive solar energy, mineral movement will be blocked, rate of decomposition will be high. What happens if all the decomposers are completely removed from the ecosystem? What will happen? Mineral movement will be blocked because there will be flow of energy. Decomposers ಅನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಏನೂ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸು ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲ್ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ತಗೋತಿರ್ತಾವ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸನ್ನು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ತಿಂತದ, ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ನ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ತಿಂತದ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹರ್ಬಿವೋರ್ಸು ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಅವನೋ ಅಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅವನೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಏನೂ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡೋವಂಥ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸರ್ಸನ್ನು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಬಯೋಜಿಯೋ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಮಿನರಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ದ ಡೆಡ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಬ್ರೋಕನ್ ಡೌನ್. ಅದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಡೆಡ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್? ಕೊನೆಗೆ ನೀವು ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ನಾಗ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಿನರಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಫೈನಲಿ ದಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಿನರಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್. Then coming to the next question. A nucleotide is formed of purine, pyrimidine and phosphate, purine, sugar and phosphate, nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate, pyrimidine, sugar and phosphate. What is nucleotide? Nucleotide is a molecule containing nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate, and in that nitrogen base there are two types. Double ringed nitrogen bases are purines and single ringed nitrogen bases are pyrimidines. So the answer is option C. The repeating units, the monomeric units of ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಬೋತ್ DNA ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ RNA, ಇದರದ್ದು ಮೋನೋಮರ್ ಯೂನಿಟಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪಾಲಿನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ ಚೈನ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈಚ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬೇಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೋತ್ ಪ್ಯೂರಿನ್ ಆರ್ pyrimidine. The pentose sugar, it may be ribose or it may be deoxyribose. Along with that, the phosphoric acid is also present. So option C is the right answer. Then coming to the next question. Which of the following hormones are responsible for the maintaining bud dormancy in deciduous trees? The bud dormancy in deciduous seeds, it is due to the action of ABA, that is abscisic acid. It is responsible for the maintaining of winter dormancy in the deciduous trees. Then a small segment of DNA contains the base sequence CGT. ಇದು DNA ಒಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬೇಸು. ಇಫ್ ಆನ್ mRNA transcript is made that includes this DNA sequence, what will be the anticodon on tRNA that will bind to the corresponding mRNA codon for this triplet? So DNAದು ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದದ CGT. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ mRNA ತಯಾರಾದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರಬೇಕು? C ಇದ್ದ ಕಡೆಗೆ G ಬರಬೇಕು, G ಇದ್ದ ಕಡೆಗೆ C ಬರಬೇಕು, T ಇದ್ದ ಕಡೆಗೆ A ಬರಬೇಕು. ಅಂದರೆ GCA. ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ mRNA. GCA. ಜಿಕ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ tRNA ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಬರಬೇಕು? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜಿಕ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ C ಬರಬೇಕು. ಜಿ ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ G ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ T ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ A ಬಂದದ, ಎಕ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಏನು ಬರಬೇಕು? ಯುರಾಸಿಲ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ CGU. This is the anticodon. How it is? See here. CGT. This is a nitrogen base arrangement on DNA. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ mRNA ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಒಳಗದ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಪೇರಿಂಗನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಮ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ ಎ ಒಳಗೆ. ಸೊ ಸಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಪೇರಿಂಗು ಎಮ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ ಎಗೆ ಜಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಜಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಪೇರಿಂಗು ಸಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಟೀಕ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಪೇರಿಂಗು ಎ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಥ್ಯಾಮಿನ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ DNA and in RNA, whichever it is, whether it is rRNA, it is mRNA or tRNA, instead of thymine the adenine is present. ಅಂದರೆ DNA ಒಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಥ್ಯಾಮಿನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ RNA ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ನಾಗ ಅಡೆನಿನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ mRNA ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ನಮಗೀಗ, GCA. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಆನ್ mRNA. ಈಗ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಏನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ನಾವು, ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಎಂಟಿ ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೋಡಾನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ GCA. ಸೊ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಟು G, ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಪೇರಿಂಗ್, C. Opposite to C, the G is the complementary pairing. Opposite to A, the uracil is the complementary pairing. Look at the arrangement, CGU, tRNA. What is the message in DNA, CGT? So instead of thymine, the uracil is present in RNA. So this will be the anticodon which is present on tRNA. So the answer is option C. Then moving to next question. Which of the following is a reducing sugar? Reducing sugar ಯಾವುದದ? Galactose, gluconic acid, beta methyl galactoside, sucrose. And the answer is galactose. The right answer for this question is galactose. It has an aldehyde group. Reducing sugar is any sugar that has an aldehyde group and it is capable of forming glucose, fructose, glyceraldehyde and galactose. Many disaccharides like lactose and maltose also have a reducing form, as one of the two units may have an open chain form with an aldehyde group. So the answer for this one is galactose. Then coming to the next question. Which of the following processes make direct use of oxygen? Glycolysis, fermentation, electron transport, Krebs cycle. And the answer is, which of the following make direct use of oxygen? Answer is electron transport, because oxidative phosphorylation ಒಳಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ that electron acceptor will be the oxygen molecule. So direct use of oxygen ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ? in case of electron transport system which is observed in the aerobic respiration. Phosphofructokinase is inhibited by hydrogen ions and hence the rate of glycolysis increases when pH falls, decreases when pH falls significantly, neither increase or decrease, either increase or decrease. What is the answer? The right answer is decrease when the pH falls significantly. Phosphofructokinase, this is involved in the glycolysis process. If hydrogen ion, when pH falls significantly, the rate of glycolysis will be affected. Then which of the following is a biological uncoupler of oxidative phosphorylation? Thermogenin, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, 2,4-dinitrophenol ethylene, diaminotetraacetic acid. The answer is thermogenin. This is acting as a biological uncoupler of oxidative phosphorylation. Then coming to the next one. Wildlife is destroyed most when there is a lack of proper care, mass scale hunting for foreign trade, its natural habitat is destroyed, natural calamity occurs. Maximum wildlife is destroyed if its natural habitat is destroyed. One of the reason for loss of the biodiversity, habitat loss and fragmentation. The next question. Golden rice is a transgenic crop of the future with the following improved trait. So already in the previous question paper it is discussed. The golden rice is golden yellow, dark yellow in color due to its high beta carotene quantity, and that beta carotene molecule is precursor for the synthesis of vitamin A. With the consumption of golden rice, the night blindness problem can be solved. Therefore, the answer for this question is option D, high vitamin A content with respect to the golden rice. Which of the following could not be considered as an ecosystem? A small pond, all the fish in a coral reef, earth, a pile of dung in a pasture. And the answer is option B, all the fish in a coral reef. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಕೋರಲ್ ರಿಫ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಫಿಶ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದ, ಬೇರೆ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡೆಡ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಫಿಶ್, therefore it is not considered as ecosystem. Then coming to the next question. A common biocontrol agent for the control of plant disease is baculoviruses, Bacillus thuringiensis, Glumus trichoderma. The baculoviruses, they are used in the controlling of some particular organisms. Bacillus thuringiensis, insect controlling, worms controlling, Glumus in association with the fungi, and trichoderma, it is the very common biocontrol agent. So the answer is option D, and here it is the image of trichoderma. Option is the option D. Then next question. Which one of the following is not caused by the deficiency of mineral nutrition? Necrosis, chlorosis, etiolation, shortening of internodes. So mineral deficiency ಇಂದ necrosis ಆಗ್ತದ, chlorosis ಆಗ್ತದ, shortening of internode ಒಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, that is etiolation. How to define etiolation? Etiolation is a process in flowering plants grown in partial or complete absence of light. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಟ್ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂಥ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆದ್ರೆ etiolation ಆಗ್ತದೆ. And it is characterized by long weak stems, smaller leaves due to longer internodes, and pale yellow color. The development of seedlings in dark is known as scotomorphogenesis, and it leads to etiolated seedlings. ಲೈಟ್ ಇರದೇ ಇರೋವಂಥ ಜಾಗದೊಳಗೆ ನಾವೇನಾರೇ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿದರೆ ಅದು ಲಾಂಗ್ ವೀಕ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ಸನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಲಾಂಗ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, pale yellow ಕಲರಿಗೆ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ವಿತ್ etiolation. See how long stem is produced with very small leaves. This is the effect of etiolation. And here it is the image of chlorosis. Some patches, brown patches you can see on the leaves due to the deficiency of minerals. This is chlorosis. So etiolation is not caused by the deficiency of minerals, it is due to the absence or unavailability of the light. A number of natural reservoirs have been created to conserve specific wildlife species. Identify the correct combination of the following: Gir forest, tiger; Kariganza, elephants; Run of Kutch, wild asses; Manas Wildlife Sanctuary, musk deer. So which one is? Identify the correct combination of the following. So answer is option C, Run of Kutch. It is part of desert. Gir forest, it is for lion. Kaziranga National Park for rhinoceros. Manas for elephant and rhinoceros, and Manali for musk deer. So the option C is right answer. Moving to the next one. PCR and restriction fragment length polymorphism are the methods for study of the enzymes, genetic transformation, DNA sequencing, genetic engineering. So answer is both of them are methods used in rDNA technology or genetic engineering. PCR for the amplification of DNA, restriction length polymorphs used in the identification of DNA fingerprinting. There also the separation of the DNA is carried out. So both of them are used in genetic engineering. The next question. The C4 plants are photosynthetically more efficient than C3 plants because the carbon dioxide compensation point is more. CO2 generated during photorespiration is trapped and recycled through PEP carboxylase. The carbon dioxide efflux is not prevented. They have more chloroplast. And the answer is the CO2 efflux is not prevented. The C4 plants, they show more photosynthesis than that of C3 plants because they can do both C3 cycle as well as C4 cycle. They also work at high temperature, light intensity, and with minimum carbon dioxide also they show the high rate of photosynthesis. And last question of today's discussion. The enormous diversity of protein molecule is mainly due to the diversity of amino groups on the amino acids, R groups on the amino acid sequence with the protein molecule, and peptide bonds. The answer for this question is option C, amino acid sequences within the protein molecule, because there are only 20 amino acids, but these can be arranged in different order in a polypeptide chain to form diverse array of proteins. So option C is the answer for diversity of protein molecules. Hope this discussion is clear for you. Rest of the 45 questions I will discuss in the next video. Thank you.